In my coaching practice, one of the things I most often listen to leaders wanting to develop is the capacity to be more influential so they can have a greater impact and more visibility in the organization in a positive way. So I thought I'd do a 4-part video series. This is number 1, on how to hack into influence. What is it really? How does it happen? And specifically, the focus is on listening. So you might ask, listening? Yes. Well, mostly when I ask leaders, what have you already tried to be more influential? They report on what they've spoken, what they've tried to get across, what they've tried to communicate. And of course, speaking is a very critical aspect of how influence happens because we're in the territory of communication here. But I think there's a secret phenomenon that most leaders miss. And unless that is in place in the communication, positive influence can't happen. And the secret phenomenon is that for influence to happen, as a leader, my spoken message needs to dock or land in your inner interpretive landscape and create a stirring in you towards some kind of future momentum or future action that the leader intends. And that happens in 2 ways. It happens through the stirring that my words generate inside of you, and also it happens in the kind of emotions that what I'm speaking out, you are listening to, and it generates that movement inside of you. Because emotions are the fuel that moves people towards action and behavior or away from. So where does listening come into this? Well, unless the leader is able to listen, to really hack into the interpretations that the listener and the stakeholder is holding, how can they possibly craft a message if they're not clear on that, that's going to create that stirring, that forward momentum stirring? And here I'm not talking about the kind of listening that is superficial, that listening to respond or listening to confirm my worldview, listening to confirm that I'm right about something. I'm talking about the kind of listening where we can suspend our own worldview and really get curious as to what's going on in the inner landscape of that listener or that stakeholder. When that begins to be clear, like what keeps them up at night in a cold sweat, what is it that deeply matters to them that isn't flowing in the situation we're dealing in, then as a leader, I can put myself in service through the way I speak and the way I show up emotionally with them to help them resolve that. And when that takes place, then effective influence has happened. So for me, the key to effective influence is happening in the process, the human process of listening. And this is a massively core competence for leaders to develop in this day and age, because unless we're listening to what's really going on, we cannot find new, innovative solutions to the problems that are facing us as a humanity. So I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, tune into my next 3 videos in February. I'm also running a workshop on the 12th to 14th of March, which will go into these processes in a lot more detail with practice. And if you'd like more details of that, check out the comments below.